Good morning and welcome to ONNtv's Mornings with Luann and Tim. Tim, it's raining.
We could do the Barbara Streisand Donna Summer duet. It's raining, it's pouring. My love life is boring me to tears. After all these years, your turn.
That would fit. I don't know the words.
No sunshine, no moonlight.
No sunshine, no moonlight.
Don't sing. Ladies, good morning.
You're bad. How are you?
You're bad.
Well, I told you I couldn't sing.
I'm a bass this morning, Lou.
Yes, you are. I'm a bass this morning too.
Oh, what time? Was it pitch black when you woke up this morning? Yeah,
pretty much.
Isn't that depressing?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's not so bad when you wake up and it's dark, and then by the time you finish showering and getting ready, the sun's coming up. But
right.
Today,
no sun. No sun happening.
Oh, I'm sorry for us. But it's good for the gardens and good for the grass.
Did you plant flowers yet?
No, but I got a beautiful potted plant. A hydrangea from.
That's my favorite flower.
Tourism Sault Ste. Marie and the EDC sent me a beautiful flower. Alana Konopik, thank you, Alana, sent me as a thank you for WTF, for the work that I did on WTF. And so we all the volunteers got flowers.
Nice.
And also donations made in our names to charities, so that they sort of thought about what charities we would support, and actually I kind of gave some input into what the volunteers, what their passions were.
Right.
And so a variety of donations were made by the EDC and Tourism Sault Ste. Marie for the volunteers who helped out with the WTF festival. So that was really nice.
That's very cool. You know what's trending this morning?
What?
FIFA.
Oh, huge news.
Yes.
They voted for Morocco. No.
Yeah, U.S., Canada, and Mexico are going to host World Cup in 2026.
I wonder how they're going to get over that wall.
The wall, yeah.
They're going to have to kick that soccer ball over Donald Trump's wall.
Yes.
And then when the soccer ball comes into Canada, they're going to have to pay 25% tariffs on it.
You know what? I think
because there's no free trade anymore.
No, there's no free nothing.
No.
I think he's thinking that maybe he could get them to build the wall while they're here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So FIFA. And that's 2000 when?
26. They're planning ahead, apparently.
I don't even know if I'll be alive then.
Sure you will.
I'll be old.
Well, you're older. Yeah, you will, maybe.
Okay, I'll be older.
Older is good. Yeah. Remember the FBI agent I was telling you about maybe a week or so ago? He was at a dance and he was just grooving along like at a festival.
He's been charged
with assault.
He's actually in prison right now. Didn't they put him? I think he's being held.
Yeah. What happened was he was at this festival and he was doing a dance Off duty. Yes.
With his gun tucked in the back of his pants.
Yes, and he did a backflip. The gun fell out of his pants, landed on the ground. He went to pick it up, and I don't think he was touching it, but as he was going for it, it went off and shot him in the thigh. Oops.
Why are you laughing? Our cameraman is laughing at that.
Stop laughing. That's not nice.
See?
So he was charged with assault. They're serious.
Yeah.
If you're going to be FBI-ish.
He was a good guy with a gun.
Yes, he was. Good guy with a gun.
And a good guy with a gun. And they're also waiting for the results of his toxicology tests. To see how perhaps he might have been a little bit,
You know what? In a way, I don't know how you feel about that. For me,
but what?
They're allowed to have their time. He was
when they're off.
Sure.
Why is he carrying a gun?
But that's the thing. Why do a lot of people carry guns though?
Right? But not in a holster. He had it tucked in the back of his pants.
But most people do.
They don't, because they don't carry it. Well,
they don't
I would never carry a gun aiming down my parts.
No, I wouldn't either.
But the pistol, you could shoot something.
I would carry a gun aiming at your parts, but not mine. Because really, you don't want to be doing the parts thing.
No.
Yeah, so they're doing a toxicology on him.
To see whether or not he had been drinking a little bit.
Well, like I said, he was off duty, so he's allowed.
Yeah.
But leave your gun at home, maybe.
Exactly. I have some nice guests this morning on our show, Luann. Yes, we're going to talk about home security.
So you're not going to make them cry today?
Who'd I make cry?
Oh, you make people cry all the time because they're nice guests and they come and they have to talk to you and they're not very nice.
No, I'm always pleasant.
Yeah, all right.
Talking home security this morning,
Oh,
because my home has been
excellent.
broken into twice, so I know about home security, and I've learned some tips, but we're going to learn some
Knock
more.
on wood.
And not just about your home security, about things like when you're going on vacation, but your cottage, all
What
that
to
kind
do.
of stuff. Exactly.
Yeah. I remember growing up in Espanola, all of my dad's brothers and sisters had camps on this same lake.
Mm-hmm.
And when the water froze over, somebody would be assigned to go across and monitor all the camps to make sure people weren't breaking into them.
That's
'Cause it
called
happens.
neighborhood watch.
What's that?
Neighborhood watch?
Yes.
It's kind of like that,
Kind of.
only walking on water.
Yes, like Jesus.
It's Jesus' neighborhood watch.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that. That's awesome.
Yes, we are. We're also
I'm sorry you were broken into.
twice.
My gosh, that's
in 3
gotta
weeks.
feel
Twice in 3 weeks.
invasive.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that somebody else was in your house touching your stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and like searching for stuff. Like, yeah. No.
See, that's what, if they come in and see a phone on the table and grab it and run, that's one thing, but going through my drawers and stuff like that.
They went through my drawers.
Really? Oh.
Yes, I was violated.
I bet.
And then my other guest this morning is, guests this morning are going to talk about the Queen Street Cruise this weekend.
Oh.
See, it's festival time in Sault Ste. Marie. Don't forget, just because it's raining doesn't mean that it's not summer and we're not happy and lots
Oh,
of
no,
fun things
absolutely.
going on. So
And the rain's going to stop by the weekend.
it's going to stop by later today, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Okay. Big fire today, too.
Yes, somewhere.
And the
Huge.
rain is, thank goodness for the rain falling on the fire.
Yes. We have a scanner in our newsroom, and it was going off like crazy when I came in early this morning, and they actually had a transit bus come to take people to evacuate them out of the building. There was a
Do you
call.
know where it was yet?
No.
Okay,
no.
well, hopefully we'll have that as breaking news.
Yes, maybe your security person knows.
I wonder, he's got a radio.
Betcha.
Let's ask him.
Let's ask him.
Okay, well, we'll be back with my guest from KC Security in just a moment. So stay with us. We've got lots more Mornings with Luann and Tim. See you in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. If I'm a little dim on this side, it's because we forgot to light me over here. So we'll take care of that in the next break. But hi! I'm back with Daniel LaPrade.
Yeah.
Daniel LaPrade. I just asked you, is it LaPrade or LaPrade? He said LaPrade. So I said LaPrade. Welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim, Daniel.
Thank you.
KC Security, how long you been there?
4 years now. We're in our fourth year. So.
You mean the company's 4 years old?
Yes, the company. Yeah.
You've been there since the very beginning?
Yes, so I own the company.
You own it?
I own the company.
You're like 12 years old. How do you own a company? How do you own a company so young?
I don't know. I think I aged so much, since I
Daniel,
started, but yes, 4 years.
You're from the Sioux originally?
Yes.
And you started this company 4 years ago?
Yes.
And I hear about you all the time. I mean, I know the company name, so
Yeah.
obviously you've done something right.
And you may have heard of KC Roofing before.
Yeah, who's
That's
that?
my parents that own that.
You guys are like local. You're
Yes.
like a local. What would you call that? An industry in and of themselves. The KC family.
That's right. We brand it out,
Where'd
right?
KC come from? Your name is Daniel LaPrade. That's DL.
That's right. So that stands for Kim and Claude. That's their
Those are
initials
your
and their names.
parents.
Yeah. So when I started, I decided why not brand off.
Absolutely.
that's
Well,
known, right?
they've got a
So-
great reputation, so why not
Absolutely.
take those
And we
initials?
got the colors and the yellow and the black.
And you matched my tulips. Tulips? Daffodils.
That was
These
not
are-
planned,
are
but
these
I'm
two-
glad that worked out.
Feel these. They're actually just sponge. Kind of cool, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Mios. They look really nice and we never have to water them. 4 years in business.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your background? Did you go to school here in Sault Ste. Marie, or are you just a...
Well, I did. When I graduated high school, I actually left and moved out west
Yeah.
into BC in Victoria, and I actually started working out security out there.
Okay.
And then I kind of worked my way up throughout the years. I did 7 years before I started my company. So
You
I've been
are
in this-
older than
I've
you
been-
look.
I've been in this for 10 years now. Yeah, 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
So 7 years out there?
7 years out there, and before I was in security, I was actually in the funeral industry.
No kidding.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah. That's an interesting trade, though.
That
I have
was.
a friend,
I
Lene
did-
Fragamini from Arthur Funeral Home, and boy, you never stop working when you're in the
No.
funeral business because people never stop dying.
That's true.
But they also do a lot of other services, which is really interesting to hear about.
And it's like that with our industry, right? There's always work. There's always stuff
always
going
work.
on.
So now this time of the year, are there special things for people to consider for security when it comes to the summertime or the nicer weather? Or do risks go up as far as home security goes when the weather gets nicer?
Yeah, we find in the summertime, like people will start to, so they're going away, they're traveling, or even, in a hot day, people they leave their office or their house, they leave their windows open. I've even seen where there's been break-ins while they're in the backyard gardening, and they leave their doors or windows open up front, and then somebody breaks in, takes the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're wanting to make sure you're securing your home when you leave. If you have an alarm system, make sure you're using that. That's the summertime when we find that it always spikes up because the weather is nicer.
So there's more people out wandering around, and also we, as you say, yes, doors and windows being left open, and I think people also, in nicer weather, I think that there are more people sort of wandering the streets, kind of looking for stuff too.
Yeah,
as opposed to huddling up in the cold, right?
Yes.
And so what kind of, let's say I'm going to go to my camp for the weekend or something. Let's say I've got a cottage. What kinds of things should I be looking at doing for my house in town or my home in town or my apartment or whatever? What do you recommend as far as?
Yeah, well, you should make sure that, like I said, you have everything secured. Make sure you're leaving lights on. If you're going to be gone for a long period of time, timers are good for that. When it creates that lived-in, atmosphere.
Sure, with lights going on and off.
Same with a radio or TV, if that turns on or off.
Right.
We do vacation patrols, so that is a service we do as well.
Right.
Or you could get a relative or a neighbor or somebody to check your house. Actually, a lot of insurance companies require you to have your house checked so often now when you go away. Like if you got home insurance, and they will give you a discount if you have an alarm system or you're using security patrols.
So you guys are available for hire for someone to go, like you would just do drive-bys or do check-ons, and
that's right.
it's a service
We
you
go
provide?
in, we collect their mail, we water their plants if they want.
Come on.
We won't cut the grass. I know people ask that. And they want us to,
Well, that's when you got to get a hold of one of those other companies who do your yard maintenance.
I had people wanting, their driveways done, and in the winter, but we only said we'd shovel steps. That's as far as we go.
But you do that sort of stuff to make the house look a little more lived in.
But we do that, yeah. So
that's really smart.
Yeah.
What about blinds? Closed, open, partially closed? What do you think?
That one's a tough one. I mean, I think that they're better closed sometimes so people can't see in. But if they're always closed, then people will think, okay,
is anybody home?
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any.
I have I have the ones that I can tilt. So what I do is I angle them so you can't see in the house, but I leave a light on so you can still see the glow of a light inside.
That's perfect, right? So that way they can't see straight in.
You know what else I did, Daniel? I got, because when my house was, I mentioned to Luann in the opening, my house was broken into twice in 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, this is going back a few years, and there was quite a rash of robberies going on in my neighborhood at that time. The police, a neighbor got broken into as well. That was an example of them leaving the main door open and just having the screen door, because the kids were teenage son and his girlfriend were upstairs in the bedroom just hanging out playing guitar and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the mother left to run an errand or something, and she just left. And they had been doing the floors in the house and doing some renos. So workmen had been coming and going. And so the guy's upstairs with his friend, and they hear the door open downstairs, and they hear a male voice go, "Hello?" And they figured it was a workman. So they just stayed in their bedroom, and they hung out and whatever. And then a little while later, the door opened, and this complete stranger stuck his head in the room, and they're sitting there. And they see this guy and go, whoa, 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 what? And there's that moment of, what's going on?
Right.
And in that moment, and he said to them, "Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong house. I was looking for I thought this was my buddy's house."
Yeah. They did.
And then they hear him running down the stairs and the door again. By the time they got downstairs, there had been 2 people in the house. They'd gone into the main floor bedroom, robbed the mother's bedroom, took the girlfriend's purse off the kitchen table, keys, wallet. They had to have all the locks on her house changed because they had her address and her house keys.
Right.
Yeah, and it turned, when the police showed up, they said, "You're number 3. They went in a straight row, backyard, their yard, and across the street. They hit 3 houses.
And another thing to that too is, some people will watch. They'll watch, your routine. If you leave every day at the same time or whatever, it could be they could be scoping out an area, right?
We got to take a quick break, Daniel. We're going to come back and talk about some more things, more tips we can do for home security to keep our property and belongings safe. So stay with us. We'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this. Daniel LaPrade. I'm going to get that right before this 5 minutes is up. Daniel is the owner-operator of KC Security. Look, there you are on the screen.
Yeah.
And we're talking about home security and tips for the summer and how to keep ourselves and our belongings safe. Daniel, when I was broken into, a lot, as you said, people watch. We have a large picture window in our house, and my partner and I tend to sit at our dining room table and work on our laptops. So somebody walking up and down the street checking out the neighborhood could see plain as day that we sat and worked on 2 laptops and they were in our house right there.
Right.
We went to a movie one night, foolishly left the laptop sitting out. They kicked the side door in and they smash and grab. They got the laptops. They also grabbed a reciprocating saw because it was sitting at the back door.
Yeah.
And I came home. We'd gone to a movie. I came home to find the police officers, and my mother was in my living room. It only turned out they found my mother because they knew my last name and they knew who my mother was. Somebody on the police force knew, and they managed to get the phone book and call my mom because they didn't know how to get a hold of me because nobody had they didn't have my cell phone number.
Oh, okay.
Now I have a security system.
Right.
However, when that alarm goes off, if I'm not around, they're calling me and there's nothing I can do to get there. You guys actually work with other security companies, like with alarm companies, so that you could be listed as the person when my alarm goes off, you guys will show up?
That's right. And if it's, whether we want to be, you want us to be first call or, a secondary call out to it. Some people want to, because, they might set off their alarm.
I did not know I had that option.
Yeah, so that means we would get the call, right, and we would dispatch somebody out to go to the alarm, and, so if it's a false alarm, you accidentally set it off, you'd call the alarm company, right, and cancel it off.
Right, and I don't get charged by the police for them showing up.
That's right. We're a lot less pricey than the police response.
It used to be $100. I think it's more than that now.
Yeah, and you know what? And because their time is valuable, right?
Well,
to be able to deal
they've got, if it's a false alarm, they've got better things to be doing in our city than running around looking at houses that whose alarms have gone off because of a cat walked and set off the motion sensor.
It's funny you say that. We had one yesterday from a dog. So, and so security companies are doing more of that, and we can actually hold keys to your house. So we can actually go in.
Oh my gosh.
Actually find out what's setting off the alarm. And then, deal with it. We can act on your behalf. So if you're out of town, right, you're at camp, like you said, and there's a break-in, and, you've authorized us to be your key holder, we can actually, call a repair person, whoever you have designated or whatever, and we can stand by and deal with all that because you need to have a reference for that, right, because the police or fire, So, these are all things we could...
I'm learning so much about what more I can do to keep my house safe.
And this is good because a lot of people don't have family in town. We actually even do medical response. So people who have the life alert buttons...
Yes.
We go to let the emergency services in, like the fire or ambulance.
Because you're a key holder.
That's right. So we meet them there. That's our only job for that. We're not giving, we're not doing the ambulance and fire's job, but we're letting them in so they can do their job.
I have a friend who had a heart attack. And he actually had to get his way, while having a heart attack, had to get his way to the bottom of the stairs of his apartment. He lives on the third floor of an old home with offices beneath. He had to get down 2 flights of stairs to get to the door so they wouldn't have to kick the door in, to unlock the door. Yeah. Having a heart attack, crawling down the stairs, trying to get to the door. So you guys would be able to show up, let them in.
That's right.
And
because they don't want to break down a door or cause damage if they don't have to, right?
Right.
So, and again, this is a service that we've started to offer.
I thought about that either.
And we have a few of them, and you hope that you don't get them because it usually could mean something very bad. But I mean, it's there. They have that peace of mind,
but
right?
think about the issue of the time that it takes to break down the door and do all that kind of stuff. If the door is just wide open, first responders can just get right in there. There's no delay in getting to the patient.
That's right.
Or the person who's in distress.
And it's good to note for security, at least for our company, we, all alarm calls are treated as highest priority. So,
highest priority.
Whereas, if the police are busy, it would get down into the queue, right? So,
Right.
So this is why it's good to, have somebody else. Some people have both. They want both going.
Another idea, too, if you're planning on going away for any length of time, and you talked about you guys do the mail pickup and the newspaper pickup and then making the house continue to look lived in. If you have a neighbor who might be willing to put their car in your driveway once in a while, just to make it look like there's actually somebody parking in the driveway on occasion, that somebody walks by and thinks that car wasn't there the other day, it's there now, somebody's around.
That's true. That's a good point.
It can throw those tricky criminals off your scent.
Oh yes, and that's what you want to do, right? You want to make it like in the wintertime. Footprints are always good, and of course keeping it shoveled. Stuff like that. So that way it looks lived in.
What about outside the city? What about cottages? Do you do security for people's camps?
We do. We don't get a whole lot of requests for it. But yeah, we can, and it's the same thing, right? Like you're leaving your cottage pat mostly in the winter time.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the house, right? Because nobody's really out at camp in the winter. So we can definitely do the same thing, whether it's,
How far out will you go?
It depends. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got some as far as Haviland.
No
We've
kidding.
done some, and some alarm responses.
Well, but there's a lot of year-rounders at Haviland too. I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah.
It's not just seasonal out there. That's I can understand you'd have some clients out there. Also, you never know who might come in off the highway sometime and just start looking around too.
That's
right?
true, right?
Yeah, because we end up with all those stolen vehicles traveling across the country
Oh, yeah.
until they realize that Highway 17 is like the only way to get through, and they get caught.
That's right. You got to come through here.
I know, man. You got to be careful when you drive through Blind River, don't you? Those guys are good.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can. They can.
They'll
That's like
get
a
you.
crime net in Blind River. Thank you, OPP.
Yes. No, and you know what? That's true. And we try to work alongside everybody in the police. And
You have a good relationship with the police?
yeah, and we try to make sure we can take as much work off them as we can, right? Of the
Nice.
stuff that is lower priority, so that way they can be freed up to do. Because we all know the problems in the city and,
Yeah.
and the shortage, and so if security companies can be doing more and more of that, and parking for all that stuff, then it's great. So.
Daniel, there's something else too that I learned because I mentioned. Okay, so my break-ins came 3 weeks apart, and the assumption was it was the same person. Because it was the same method of same MO. They kicked in the door, same thing. This time they spent more time in the house, broad daylight. Broad daylight, they kicked in our door. Now, since then, I've got a gate with a lock, and
Right.
and we got this secure alarm system. But it all happened. We had just finished replacing the door frame
Right.
and getting the door replaced, and they did it all over again. And you know why they did it all over again? Because they figure that insurance has now covered some of the stuff that we have had stolen, and perhaps they walked by the house again and saw us on our new laptops. But at least this time we hid the laptops.
Yes.
But they broke in again. And they couldn't find the laptops, but this time they got jewelry, they got money, they got clothes in broad daylight. So what we've learned is, if you've been broken into, really make sure you get that security happening, because they may hit you again.
That's right.
So right away, like call Daniel, call KC, and set them up to start doing looking at the house.
Yeah, we do regular patrols too, right? If you want
Yeah.
regular patrols of your house, all kinds of stuff, right? But and they do happen 24 hours a day. They don't discriminate against night or day break-ins.
No.
And some people will go back to the same. The police eventually might connect a whole bunch.
Yeah.
To one person, right? Whether it's because they left the same thing each time, or
It's gotten a lot better in our neighborhood. We were sort of in the Bermuda Triangle of drug dealers at one time, and I think we had a lot of people who were addicted, who needed fast cash, and that was the issue for them. That they were looking for a fix and they needed money. So, but since there's been police have done a good job, and a lot of those guys have been taken care of. So the crime's gone down in our neighborhood a lot. So
Well, that's good to
Thanks
hear.
to the city police too. But thanks to you, and thanks for all the tips. And it's good to know about your services. I really have learned a lot today.
Perfect.
So Daniel LaPrade from KC Roofing, and they're easy to KC Roofing.
If you need roofing too, we got
KC Security, and I'm sure you're easy to find. You're in the phone book. You're on the web. They can just Google you.
We're a proud partner with ONNtv as well. I should mention
There
that.
you go. You can probably click on one of your ads on our ONNtv.
We keep you secure here too.
Do you?
That's right. At
Thank
night
you
we-
very much, because we got a lot of it. I'm not going to say what we have that's worth money, other than me. I'm worth a fortune. Why you laugh at that? We'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim. The news is coming right up. Thanks for being here. See you soon.
The United Steelworkers Union is urging Ottawa to immediately impose retaliatory tariffs on steel and aluminum and other imports from the United States instead of waiting until the end of the month as it has proposed. National Director Ken Newman says delays are a mistake since U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum started June 1st and are already causing economic harm in Canada. He says customers looking to buy products are making decisions now based on the current situation, which may disadvantage Canadian producers. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has rejected other calls to speed up the imposition of those retaliatory tariffs, saying he wants to respect the government's 30-day consultation period on its proposed $16.6 billion tariff package. Newman said the steel industry should be offered support similar to Quebec's offer of $100 million in loan guarantees to support the aluminum industry there. Chrystia Freeland says Ottawa is prepared for any eventuality as the U.S. threatens to impose tariffs on Canadian autos. The Foreign Affairs Minister says the government expects moments of drama from the Trump administration.
I believe it is always unwise to venture hypothetical responses to hypothetical actions. Having said that, we are aware that an investigation on autos under Section 232 has been initiated. It is at the very early stages. There's been no conclusion. But that is an issue which the Prime Minister raised very clearly with the President in the bilateral meeting on Friday.
City Council unanimously voted in favor of renaming Ontario Avenue between Pine and Upton Road that runs alongside the Sioux Armories to Garrison Way. The name reflects the people inside the military building, which was actually built in the 1950s. Several local military regiments used the recently upgraded facility. The renaming was requested by the 49th Field Regiment Commanding Officer Lance Knox and a delegation from the local armed services. A garrison parade will mark the formal change on September 11th. A spokesperson for Doug Ford says Ontario's incoming premier is determined to deliver on his campaign promise to scrap the, quote, disastrous cap-and-trade system and fight a federal carbon tax. Ford's pledge is causing concern in Quebec, a province that introduced a cap-and-trade system back in 2013 and shares a carbon market with Ontario and California. Quebec's Environment Minister Isabelle Mélenchon says she is watching closely to see who Ford will appoint as her counterpart on June 23rd and plans to stress the benefits of the cap-and-trade system. She says Quebec Premier Philippe Couillard did not raise the issue when he met with Ford a few days ago, but the two are set to meet again in July during an annual meeting of provincial and territorial leaders. A spokesperson for Ford says the Tory leader is also committed to fighting federal rules set to kick in next year that require provinces to have carbon pricing in place, rules already being challenged by the governments of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. The cap-and-trade system aims to lower greenhouse gas emissions by putting caps on the amount of pollution companies in certain industries can emit. If they exceed those limits, they must buy allowances at quarterly auctions or from other companies that come in under their limits. The cap declines about 4% each year to 2020, and as it decreases, the government hopes companies have more incentive to cut their emissions.
Welcome back to Noah's Ark. The animals come two by two, and so do the hosts from a morning show.
Yes, that's right.
Hi, I'm Tim, and this is Luann, and this is Mornings with Luann and Tim.
And on this rainy morning, we have something for you to look forward to.
What?
We have some draws that we're doing for Relay for Life. Awesome, because it's this Friday. I've been saying for months, this Saturday, it's Friday,
And
the
we're
15th, and we have a team in.
I think we're like the media sponsor. We didn't even have the date right.
Yeah, there we were.
We're sorry, Relay for Life, but we're making up for it.
Yeah, we did the date properly. We got the day.
Friday,
Yes.
June 15th.
And there's still time for you to sign up and get a team together. It's such a good cause. It's one of those events that you say yes to months ahead, and then when it comes upon you, it's like, oh gosh, is that here already? And it's such an inspirational, really touching fundraiser. It's one of those, you know.
And what's our team called? The
ONNtv Streamers.
Because we live stream.
Yes, we're so clever. And because it's such an awesome thing, we are so happy to have a lot of businesses in the community helping us out. We have prizes that we've been drawing, and tomorrow is our last one. And we want to thank all the generous donations from Fratelli's and
yum, yum.
yes, from Bar One Fitness.
They gave an amazing prize.
Yeah, 3-month gym membership.
Valued at something like $220.
Yeah, the 10 spot, $50 gift card. Get your nails done.
They're in the new building there, right across from PetSmart at the
Yes,
corner of.
they are.
That second line.
new building.
Yeah, the Walmart entrance.
Right beside the big bicycle.
Yes.
Vélorution.
Yes.
Yes. Vélorution. Clean and Press Juice Bar also is donating. So yeah.
And you know why they're donating all that prizes? Because they want to raise awareness of the fact that the whole reason for this promotion is to raise awareness of the fact that the event is happening and
Yes.
to encourage people. You've won a great prize. If you're any of these winners, and you've won things like $220 membership to gym, or flowers, or we have wreaths we've given away, beautiful, all of these wonderful prizes. If you've been fortunate enough to be a recipient, the whole premise here is that now you'll get involved in the Relay for Life. Now, whether that is pledging someone who's involved,
Right.
or getting involved yourself in collecting pledges, or just showing up to show your support for the cause and for those involved in the relay, it would be very, very nice if you gave back after receiving a prize in this contest.
Absolutely.
That was my
And
daddy voice.
that was your daddy voice. You did good too.
Thank you.
Now you can relax for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, you took care of biz. You took care of everything.
I can't relax. I have a guest coming up to talk about the
cruise, Queen Street
Cruise
Cruise.
with all those fabulous cars.
Man, that event is getting to be a huge one. Really
Yeah.
very indicative that, summer's here.
I know.
Yeah, it's real.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I was like, Bratwurst and Beethoven is almost like a
Is
launch
that
of
right?
summer
Yeah.
too, because it just happens. It's the same weekend every year in June. So when you get those kinds of events, those kinds of festivals that are going on, it's like a clock, an
Yes.
internal clock that says it's that time.
It's that time.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So that'll be fun. We'll talk about that.
Okay, and so what else is going on this weekend? Oh, I know, Studio Dance Arts.
Oh,
Richard Kim came back to Sault Ste. Marie a
Yes.
number of years ago, and he is 15 years ago, and he
has
established.
he been back home that long?
Yeah, and they're celebrating.
Oh, my.
And I was there for the very first. I think I was the MC the first year, or maybe his sister Tanya was. But anyway, I've been MCing for their dance recital on and off for all those years, and this is going to be a really big year. They got a lot of special events planned, and so I'm going to be the MC for their SDA Live.
Oh.
2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday.
Awesome.
And I was just communicating with Richard this morning. I think he's going to come on the show on Friday morning and
good.
talk about his experience as being coming back to Sault Ste. Marie and establishing this business. And
It'll
he's
be nice
branched
to
out.
see how he feels about being back home and if he's where he was hoping he would be.
I think he's kind of beyond where he
Yeah?
thought. Well, because
Good.
they're in Elliott Lake and Marquette now.
Oh, my.
Yes, he's got
He's
3 different-
international.
He is.
Wow.
So he's going to come and talk a little bit about his experience of starting the studio up and what kind of a year it's been, and that's going to be on Friday.
And we're talking Queen Street Cruise right after this break. So stay with us on TV Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back.
Here we go. Back in the olden days, when I was a kid, Gary Trembinski, we used to drive down Queen Street, and then we'd park in the parking lot of what is now the SR Center, was
Which
Memorial
is back
Gardens.
to the Memorial Gardens again.
Yes.
We're really excited about
And
that.
we'd all lean up against our cars and watch all the cars go down. That was considered the Queen Street Cruise back then.
That was. And there was really 2 times that you had to go Cruise Queen. One was about 6:45 in the evening, because you had to get off of East Street and onto Queen Street, because you had to see who was going to the show with who. And you had to go just after 9, because you had to see who was going to that show and who was coming out if you missed them. Yeah,
and Dairy Queen.
oh my God, Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen on the
yes.
corner. You'd sit there in the parking lot eating your Dairy Queens or having your Mr. Misties or whatever.
And Dino's Pizza.
oh, those were the days.
Yeah, they were. It's a fabulous time.
Well-
and it was before social media, Tim. You know what? Back in the day, we didn't have texting. We didn't have all that stuff. So what you did was you went downtown And if there was nobody around, you parked at the Memorial Gardens and you waited 5 minutes because they came.
They did.
Yeah, then more people came, and then more people
And
came.
then eventually you'd do the circuit, and you'd go Queen Street, and then you go down, and then you go Bay Street, and then you go back up, and you go Queen
Yeah,
Street.
you do Albert Street once in a while,
Once
up
in a while.
Gore,
Yeah.
And you know what really was fun? The whole thing was fun because on Friday nights, it used to be bumper to bumper all night. It was just a wonderful, wonderful way to grow up. And it was innocent fun. It was a lot of good stuff.
So we're bringing it back, Gary.
We're bringing it back. Yeah, we've been working on this for 3 years. It's a
I'm going to hold
fabulous
this
festival.
up. I don't know. I'm going to hold this up for camera 4, I think this is. So there you go. That is the 3rd annual Queen Street Cruise Festival, June 15th and 16th. That means it's Friday and Saturday this week,
That's
right?
right. Yep.
3rd annual.
Yep. Now let me tell you, we Joe Bisceglia and I spearheaded this project. It was brought to us by a gentleman, and he wanted to see something like the Woodward Cruise, but we couldn't get it off the ground.
What's the Woodward Cruise?
Woodward Cruise is in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
And it's huge. It's hundreds and hundreds of cars. And, you know, Sault Ste. Marie is such a community of cars. It always has been. But we've never had a car event that was sustainable. So we thought, well, we loved the Queen Street Cruise idea, bringing it back. So we wanted to bring that back, but we wanted to make it an annual event. And we wanted to get dealerships involved because they have cars.
Oh.
So this year we were really proud to say that we have 7 dealerships involved as well as other businesses.
7?
7. So this year, to start the Queen Street Cruise, we're actually moving it up to Great Northern Road a little wee bit.
No kidding.
Yeah,
To
it's
include,
really
because a lot of the dealerships are on that
Great
strip.
Northern Road, right?
Right.
We do have World Cars and Superior Dodge on Trunk Road, but we haven't figured out how to tie them into Great Northern yet. But we will. We'll figure that out. But
okay.
this year it's going to start on Great Northern, and there's
Starts on Great Northern.
yeah.
Okay.
So at between 4 and 6
On Friday the 15th.
on Friday the 15th.
Okay.
You're going to have Maitland Motors, Prowse Motors, Northside Toyota, Northside Mazda, the A&W North,
I love that.
Northside Volkswagen, and Great Lakes Honda will all host a welcome event between 4 and 6.
So you're getting off work and you can go right there. and
Exactly.
any
You
of
can
those
register
places-
right there at one of those places. So they're actually acting as staging areas. So
Oh.
what's going to happen, we have a police escort at 6 o'clock leaving Maitland Motors. When we leave Maitland Motors, we'll come out on the Great Northern Road. We'll form a single lane so that traffic can keep going. When we get to Prowse Motors, the cars at Prowse Motors will join the parade.
Come
When we go
on.
past Toyota and Mazda, the cars that are there will join the parade.
That
When we
is
go
gonna
by
be
A&W, they will join. It will continue that theme all the way down to past Honda until we get to Queen Street. Now we have Peter Corbett leading the way of this.
Wait, who's Peter Corbett?
Peter Corbett has a Model T tow truck.
Oh.
You might have seen it around town. It's a really unique vehicle. He's going to lead the parade with Frankie's Automotive tow truck.
Right.
The police motorcycles, and I think there's going to be a couple of OPP officers, and KC Security is going to be part of that too. So we're going to go all the way down to Queen. When we get to Queen, it'll go to a 2-lane parade, and we're asking the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie to please come out to Queen Street and support us. And sit there with your lawn chairs, enjoy it. We have George Pinder and Patches going to be at the March Street stage.
That Marsh Street stage I love.
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah,
get used enough. I'm glad you're using it.
Exactly. We made sure that there's power there a couple of years ago.
There's
so we
great
have
seats
bands.
now. There's a stage. It's like set up beautifully.
It's a wonderful, wonderful place to have, and it's not being utilized.
Good for you
but
guys.
we do. We've used it for, this is the 3rd year that we've utilized it, and George just loves playing on that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to miss Reggie's, though. Reggie's was a big part of
Yeah.
that section, but hopefully he gets back.
Right on, right on. We're going to take a quick break.
Yes,
We're
okay.
going to do a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and talk about this some more because we haven't finished yet.
No.
There's so much more. We haven't even talked about Arch yet.
No,
But
Arch is the
that
main sponsor.
All of these people are coming together for not only to have fun and to have a sense of community and to reconnect and to bring back downtown the life down.
Absolutely.
But to
Absolutely.
also
Way to go,
support a
Tim.
great cause. So
Yes.
Gary and I will be right back after this. Stay with us. More Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim.
Thank you.
We're back with Gary Trembinski here on behalf of the 3rd Annual Queen Street Cruise Festival happening this weekend, Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th. You were talking about making this sort of a destination, a reason for people to come back to Sault Ste. Marie. Let's address that a little bit there, Gary.
You know what, Tim? When we were building this as a festival, that's why we called it a festival.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's thousands of people have left Sault Ste. Marie, and everybody we talk to says, just give us a reason to come home. Just give us a reason. So we're giving them a reason. If they have a collector car, if they have any kind of car, if they remember the memories, just come down to Queen Street. You don't need a car. Just come down to Queen Street. Because not all of us had cars back in the 60s and the 70s.
Right.
But we went to the Memorial Gardens. We caught the bus and went to the Memorial Gardens. Okay?
Yes.
Because somebody else had a car.
Hey, we have a little video clip that we're going to roll. Go ahead and roll that video.
This video you guys did in the first year of the cruise really depicted.
We can see it there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, look at those vehicles.
Look at the people. Just they were so happy that night.
How much fun is that? And the weather's supposed to be nice this weekend, Gary.
It is, yes.
Which is a great thing. And this is a rain or shine event.
Absolutely.
This is going to happen no matter what.
Yep. There's the March Street stage.
There it is. Perfect. So the turnout over the last 3 years, have you seen it growing?
Absolutely. Yeah. Right now, this year, we actually have cars coming from the United States.
Yes.
We have registrations from there. We have Blind River, Thessalon. We have St. Joe Island. We have Espanola, Sudbury cars, North Bay cars, Thunder Bay, Marathon.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, no, the word is out. These people are coming. There's also people coming from Southern Ontario. It's growing. It's definitely growing, and it's got a great. Well, you know what? The fact that we have 7 of the dealerships involved, it means something.
Absolutely. And now, how is this a fundraiser for Arch? Where the proceeds?
$20. The proceeds for Arch come from a number of areas. All the registration comes from. It goes to Arch. Every penny of that.
Every dollar of
registration goes to Arch. We have food vendors that are donating some of their profits to Arch.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have Exit Realty will be handing out water by donation. So all that money goes.
Will go to Arch.
Yeah, so if it's hot and you need a water, throw $1 or $2 into the pot, and that goes to Arch. I mean, there's
brilliant.
so many people coming forward for this. Yeah.
Beautiful, and we know how the amazing work that Arch does in our community, and they now have their the wing for children as well,
Yes,
for children
yes,
who
yes.
are cancer victims.
They have been absolutely excellent to work with over the years.
Yeah. Now, when you end up in the parking lot of the SR Center?
On Friday night, yes. So we will come down from Maitland Motors at 6. We'll have the parade along Great Northern. So that ties in Great Northern Road to this whole event.
Yes.
So because everybody thinks it's only a downtown thing. No, this is going to grow into a community thing. This is definitely going to be a community event where, people at the hotels and restaurants will take part in it. And
it's drawing them to downtown.
Exactly. And then you draw everybody downtown.
So that becomes sort of the place where we all meet at the end.
Just like we did in the 70s.
In the 70s.
Yes.
And then what about on the Saturday, then, the 16th?
Saturday,
What's
we're
that
going to
day
run a
full
show
of?
from 10 to 4. And everything will be located at the SR Center. That's where you'll have a chance to really look at these cars and socialize again. There'll be food vendors and whatnot. And the bands will be playing. We have Boneyard playing as well as George Pinter and Patches. Yeah, 2 great bands.
Great bands, for sure.
Bands, yeah.
I love Boneyard. The other one I have to check out because I'm not really. What are they called?
George Pinder and Patches.
Oh, is he playing on the Friday as well?
He's playing Friday as well, but he's going to be at the March Street stage on Friday.
And on Saturday he'll be at the SR.
And on Saturday he'll be at the SR. George
Thanks, George Pinder, for coming out twice.
Yeah, and so's Boneyard. Boneyard's Friday night at the SR.
Oh, are they both too?
Yes.
Friday night at the SR.
At the
Boneyard.
SR.
This is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
okay,
this is a
music and
wonderful,
cars and
wonderful thing. Yeah,
socialization
yeah.
and food and
Beer garden?
no.
The SR Center's having a beer garden.
This is
I'm telling you.
It's a real festival, Gary.
Yes, it is. It is. And the businesses along Queen will be open, and Angela Caputo has just opened the
the Golden
restaurant,
Child.
The Golden Child. She'll be participating as well, and right across from the March Street stage. How could you go wrong?
Okay, I'm so excited for this. This is, once again, as Luann said in the opening, this is like the summer. This is the indication that
Yes.
summer has arrived in Sault Ste.
Yes,
Marie.
yes.
And so if they want more information, I believe we have a website we can put up. Mike,
Yes.
in the control booth there is, there it is, look at that.
QueenStreetCruise.com.
www.queenstreetcruise.com. You can register there, is that right, Gary?
Yes, yep, you can register there, or you can visit Metello's Mini Mart. We have registration forms right on site at Metello's Mini Mart. And
That's on the corner of Northern Avenue and what is Sac? No, not
it could be
Grand
Sackville. It's
Grand
actually
Boulevard.
Yeah, it just turns into Sackville on the other side.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
There's such nice people there.
I know. I heard that.
Yeah. There's a girl there named Jonna who works there that I'm friends with. And
Yeah,
she's
Jonna.
Yeah, she's really nice.
She's a wonderful young lady.
Yeah, she won't. I ask her all the time to give me free tickets, like free lottery tickets. She won't do it. I don't know. No,
her boss is bad for that.
Yeah,
he's nasty.
he's a nasty
Yeah, he's a nasty man.
So listen, and then if anybody doesn't want to register but just wants more information, same thing, queenstreetcruise.com, and I believe we have a lot of information on this Queen Street Cruise Festival at www.suonline.com
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So you can always go there and find a link and get more information.
Yeah, and please come out, join the ride. That's the motto, join the ride.
Yeah.
If you don't have a car, don't worry about it. Come down anyway.
It's a busy weekend in the Soo, but you know what? No more complaints about there's nothing to do in Sault Ste. Marie, and you can take it all in, because this is the kind of thing you don't have to go and spend a huge amount of time sitting there. You can come and go as you please, as you say, bring a
Absolutely.
lawn chair. So we'll see you downtown June 15th and 16th for the 3rd annual Queen Street Cruise Festival fundraiser for Arch. Gary Trembinski, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tim.
We'll see you this weekend.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and we'll be
Appreciate
right
that.
back to say goodbye with Luann on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Good morning, welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. This sounds like it's going to be so much fun.
I know,
Tim.
and look, see the picture of the old Model T, Luann? That was your first car, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yes, I cracked it up, but you know, it was only a tree.
No.
Just one.
Yeah, no, that's how you learn to drive in those.
Yes.
Like an
Espanoodle. You were talking about your mom, taking your mom there last year, and
Yeah.
how much she loved it.
Yeah, my mother, I don't think she can go this year because my mother has dementia, and it's a little more difficult now to get her out for long periods of time. But we did the walk last year, and we saw the cars that were on display. She absolutely loved it. You know, because for a senior,
It's nostalgia.
it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nostalgic for me at this point. But
Well,
yeah.
you're a senior officially.
Go grab your, it's going to be a beautiful day, go grab your parents if you're
Yeah.
a middle-aged person like I am. Get together with your family and walk and see these cars.
And you know what? Grandparents, yourselves, and the kids. And get everybody involved.
And you
because
know-
kids love this stuff too.
And it's stories, Luann.
Yes.
This kind of stuff, when you're walking and you're seeing these older vehicles, first of all, the owners love to talk about their
They
cars.
do.
They love to talk
I
about their
interviewed
cars.
a couple of them one time, and my goodness, they are like spit and shine
I
and
know.
polish.
So
and-
it can bring a
Oof.
conversation. It's intergenerational. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
so make sure you
absolutely.
take that in this weekend. And that's it. We're out of time now.
We're out of time already.
So we'll see you tomorrow morning with Mornings with Luann and Tim, and check out On Point tonight at 8 o'clock here on ONNtv, because you know there's always something
On TV.
See you tomorrow. Have a great day.